In the shadows of our world exists the SCP Foundation, a global organization that contains anomalies threatening humanity. They secure, contain, and protect us from things beyond understanding, things that defy natural laws, things that could end life as we know it. Among these threats, one name sends chills down the spines of even the most hardened Foundation personnel: the Scarlet King. Born from ancient chaos, the Scarlet King is a primal force of destruction, an entity so powerful that entire dimensions tremble before him. 7 crowns upon 7 heads, 7 brides bearing monstrous offspring. His very existence tears at the fabric of reality. Yet despite his godlike power, the Scarlet King suffers, trapped between dimensions, forever hungry but never satisfied, endlessly fighting against chains that bind him, his rage and hatred only growing stronger with each passing millennium. Today we examine the curse of immortal power, the prison of endless existence, the burden of being feared above all else. This is why, despite all his might, it truly sucks to be the Scarlet King. The burden of awareness. The Scarlet King started out as Karak. He was the smallest of all his divine siblings, born from the cosmic tree of knowledge, unlike the others who emerged from the tree of life. But size wasn't his real problem. His real curse was awareness. All his brothers and sisters existed in peaceful ignorance within their designated cosmic roles. But Karak, he knew things. He understood reality beyond dimensional barriers as recorded in the ancient Devite tablets. He was conscious of creation's fundamental flaws, and it hurt. A lot. The Foundation's SCP-231 containment protocols were specifically designed to counter this awareness, focusing on perpetuating ignorance, the direct opposite of what defines him. Everyone else lives in happy ignorance. Only you see the harsh reality. That's Karak's life from day one, a condition that Foundation researchers now understand led directly to his transformation into the entity we fear as the Scarlet King. Just an idea. Here's where it gets really sad. According to Tufto's SCP-01 proposal, the Scarlet King isn't even a real individual. He's just an idea born from colonial studies of Indian artifacts. He has no free will or choices. He exists because people think he exists, trapped in humanity's collective consciousness. He's a symbol of the fight between old and new, a manifestation of our fears about change. He has no control over his identity. People believe he's evil, so he must be evil. His origin story isn't even his. Humans inserted him into ancient history, falsely placing him in Devite rituals and prehistoric cave art. He's just a puppet, his strings pulled by human beliefs and fears. For an almighty king, that's pathetic, fighting a battle. He can't win. The Scarlet King wants to destroy the modern world and restore ancient ways, but he's doomed to fail. Progress always moves forward. He's fighting time itself, like holding back the ocean with his hands, despite his 7 monstrous offspring and dimensional cultists. If he won, he might destroy himself. Since he exists because of old versus new conflict, ending that conflict would erase his purpose. A paradox noted in Dr. Montauk's final journal. He belongs nowhere, rejected by the ancient world he loves and the modern world he hates. He's trapped between dimensions like SCP-2317, bound by 7 chains. Every victory brings him closer to destruction. Every defeat proves his weakness. He's caught in a cosmic joke without a punchline. Not even the main villain. Think being a cosmic villain makes you important? Not for the Scarlet King. SCP-5317 reveals he's just a pawn of SCP-2747, the Anafabula. He's not the final boss, just a stereotypical antagonist, driving stories toward predictable endings that SCP-2747 then devours. He's like a mid-level video game enemy before the real challenge. Foundation records from Operation Overmeta confirm many King incarnations are just manifestations of SCP-2747. The ultimate occult gateway system classifies him as merely a Class 4 narrative construct, not even top tier among cosmic threats. Embarrassing physical form. When Foundation agents found the Scarlet King's physical form, what did they see? A mighty god king on a throne of skulls? Nope. They saw a small, malnourished boy. He had messy hair and red eyes. He wore a simple tunic and sandals. He was covered in blood. Think about how embarrassing that is. The mighty Scarlet King appears as a victim, not a conqueror. He doesn't look like a king. He looks like a sacrifice. For all his power, he's forced to wear the shape of his own victim. He literally embodies his own dependence on human sacrifice. This form reveals a harsh truth. Beneath all his cosmic power and scary reputation, the Scarlet King is fundamentally weak. He's defined by the violence done to him, not by the violence he does to others. I can't think of anything more humiliating. Being this cosmic horror that wants everyone to fear you, but your physical form is literally the most vulnerable thing possible. Not exactly striking fear into the hearts of your enemies. Identity crisis. The SCP universe has no official canon. This means the Scarlet King has no stable identity. He changes depending on who's telling the story. In some tales, he's an all-powerful god. In others, he's just a concept. Sometimes he's evil, sometimes he's tragic. In Universe L453, he's actually benevolent and kind. The Scarlet King lives in quantum uncertainty. He's many contradictory versions of himself at once. He has no consistent self to rely on. Even basic facts about him change between stories. Is he SCP-2317? Some say yes, some say no. The creator of both entities says they're separate, but some stories suggest they merged because people believed they were the same. The Scarlet King can't even decide who he is. Others decide for him. For an entity whose name implies royalty and power, that's a pretty serious loss of control. Defeated by stupid things. Despite being this unstoppable force of destruction, the Scarlet King gets beaten in some really embarrassing ways. He dies off-screen in Tim Wilson Kills the Marvel Universe. No epic battle, no last stand, just gone. He gets trapped in a Walmart in Dustin Shopper's Rewards. A Walmart, a cosmic god defeated by the home of rollback prices. The Foundation eventually traps him in a ritual dagger using SCP-6659. In Earth 7M in the year 3870, he ends up having sex with the sun. That's not exactly the endgame of a serious cosmic threat. Imagine being able to destroy universes, but getting stuck in a retail store. Imagine threatening all of creation, but being defeated by a knife. These aren't the defeats of a respected villain. These are cosmic pranks. Such defeats don't just hurt physically. They hurt his reputation. They suggest that despite all his power, the Scarlet King is ultimately a joke. He can be contained by ordinary means or simply written out of the story when convenient. Terrible family problems. The Scarlet King's family life is a complete disaster. He impregnates his scarlet brides in groups of 7, creating his scarlet spawn. But this isn't family creation, it's a curse. His children include SCP-682, an immortal reptile that hates all life, and ironically SCP-9999, a creature of pure joy destined to defeat him. The Scarlet King doesn't love or guide his children. They're just extensions of his destructive nature. His relationship with them ranges from toxic to non-existent. In some stories, his final child from SCP-231-7 would destroy the world upon birth, or might actually be the Scarlet King himself, creating a weird loop of self-creation. The Foundation prevents this through Procedure 110 Montauk, showing that humans can block the reproductive cycle of a supposedly all-powerful being. He's basically the deadbeat dad of cosmic horror. He keeps having kids but takes no responsibility for them. Some of his children actually hate him and want to destroy him. Family reunions must be incredibly awkward. Conclusion. The Scarlet King's existence is a cosmic tragedy. For all his supposed terror, he's fundamentally powerless in the ways that matter. He was born with painful awareness his siblings lack. He's shaped by human belief rather than his own choices. He fights an unwinnable battle as a pawn in someone else's game. He has no consistent identity across stories and gets beaten by mundane things like retail stores. His relationships with his offspring are toxic, and he depends on human fear like an addict. The Scarlet King can't define himself, escape his purpose, or maintain consistent identity. He needs the very beings he wants to destroy. He's weaker than other cosmic entities and can be contained by simple means. To the Foundation, he's just another database entry, serving SCP-2747's purposes, not his own. He isn't the ultimate embodiment of cosmic power. He's a cautionary tale about power without freedom. The scariest thing about the Scarlet King isn't what he might do to us, but the recognition that even gods can be puppets, dancing to strings they can't see. It really sucks to be the Scarlet King. His crown is heavy, his throne is a prison, and his power is an illusion. Maybe the real horror isn't what he'll do to our world, but what our world has done to him. No wonder he's so angry. If I had his life, I'd want to destroy the universe too.